Namaste, dear students. Welcome back. So, today I am here with one more illustration. That is illustration number 3 in Liquidators final statement of account unit. So, let us look into the problem. Before going to the problem, I wanted to inform you all still we are doing the basic problem so that you should know very strongly how the accounts will be calculated, how the statements are prepared, so then I can move further to the advanced level of problem. Okay, so that is why I'm going with the basics problem. So let us we make a basics, concreted foundation to understand this solution part of this problem. So that is why we are doing a basic only. So let us learn the basic first, then we'll go with the advanced calculation. So, illustration number 3, the bad luck company went into liquidation on 31st December 2019, on which date the subscribed capital is as follows: 10,000, 9% preference shares of rupees 10 each fully paid. 20,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each fully paid. The assets realized rupees 2,76,000. Liquidation expenses amounted to rupees 1,320. Unsecured creditors were rupees 35,000, including rupees 5,000 preferential creditors. The liquidators' remuneration was fixed at 3% on assets realized and 2% on the amount paid to equity shareholders. Preference dividend was paid up to 31st December 2018. Preferential carry preferential rights with regard to payment of capital and dividend. Prepare liquidators' final statements of accounts. See, this is a bit different kind of problem than the other two which we have done so far. So here he has given the capital. So point 1 says 10,009% preference shares of rupees 10 each fully paid up, and 20,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each fully paid up, and the assets has been realized at rupees 2,76,000. That is, all the assets has been sold for 2,76,000. Then we have a liquidation expenditure, that is 1,320 rupees. Then unsecured creditors 35,000 rupees, so which includes 5,000 rupees in preferential creditors. The liquidators remuneration is 3% on assets realized, so that is whatever the asset has been sold on that 3%. Then 2% on the amount paid to equity shareholders. Preference dividend, equity shareholders 2% on the amount paid to the equity shareholders, and preference dividend was paid up to 31st December 2018. So last year, that means 2018, till they have paid the preferential dividend. In continuation, they have told that preference shares carry preferential rights with regard to payment of capital and dividend. So that carries a right. So with regard to the payment and the dividend payment as well. So then prepare liquidators' final statement of accounts. So this is the problem. So let us move towards the solution part for this particular problem without any delay. So dear students, we are starting the solution part. So solution for illustration number 3. Illustration number 3. So what we are preparing? We are preparing liquidators final statement of accounts. Liquidators final statement of accounts. So now open the table. So you know the table, right? Yes, open the table. It is a normal ledger account you have to open, which will consist of two sides. So particulars rupees, particulars rupees. I'm directly taking half a page, so it comes obviously like near to half a page the solution will. So now write the headers. Particulars rupees, particulars rupees. Okay, particulars rupees, particulars rupees. So as you all know that we always start from the debit side. So first we are going to start with realization of assets. Realization of assets. So this is going to be a heading. So under that first point we always write what? Surplus value of secured asset. Correct? Surplus value of secured asset. Surplus value of secured assets. See, in this problem they have not given any asset which has been secured. So only when there are assets which have been secured or some debts, that is some borrowings have taken on the basis of pledging of some kind of properties, so then only we consider. So in this problem there is no any mortgage had happened or pledging had happened, so there is no any collateral has been given. So all these words are same: collateral, pledging or mortgage. So these are all giving a asset as a security and borrowing the money. So which there is no any single adjustment about that in this problem. So that is why it is nil. So next we have to write free assets. So free assets are nothing but assets which is not secured. Free assets are those assets which is not secured at all. Okay, so let us look into the problem. So what they say about it. So it is about they are telling the assets realized 2,76,000. So directly has given assets realized for rupees 2,76,000. So I am taking directly assets realized at rupees 2,76,000. At rupees 2,76,000. So now when we write the first point, surplus value of secured asset, the same way we are going to write here always. This is going to be your first point on the credit side, that is secured creditors. Secured creditors. If we have any secured creditors, we are going to write. Since there is no secured creditors in the problem, so I am entering that directly and showing it as a nil. So after this, immediately we'll start with what? Liquidation expenses, if any. Is there any liquidation expenses? Check out in the problem. Liquidation expenses. Is there any expenditure which is related to liquidation? The assets realized rupees 2,76,000. Liquidation expenses amounted to rupees 1,320. Yes, there is a liquidation expenses of 1,320 320 rupees. So I have written that. So after that they say unsecured creditors were rupees 35,000 including rupees 5,000 preferential creditors. The liquidators remuneration was fixed at 3% on assets realized and 2% on the amount paid to the equity shareholders. Preference dividend was paid up to 31st 12 2018. Prepare shares preference shares carry preferential rights with regard to payment of capital and dividend. So directly we have to calculate liquidators remuneration now. Okay, so now let us write liquidators remuneration. So what are all he has said, that all one by one we are going to start calculating. Okay, so number one, liquidators remuneration under that 3% on assets realized. So directly he has said, correct. So that is 3% on assets realized. So I am writing 3% on assets realized. So here only has given assets realized how much? 2,76,000. So right, 2,76,000 into 3 divided by 100. How much you are going to get? Calculate in the calculator. 2,76,000 into 3%, that comes to 8,280. 8,280 I am writing inner column. So next 2% on the amount paid to equity shareholders. So next point B is 2% on the amount paid to equity shareholders. So now we have to identify how much money is left to pay the equity shareholders. Correct? So that we have to calculate and we have to write that amount. Okay, so I'm giving a space for that. Clear? So after that obviously we have to pay what? Preferential creditors. So I'm writing preferential creditors. How much? Preferential creditors is 5,000 rupees. Preferential creditors 5,000 I have written. And unsecured creditors, unsecured creditors. So how much unsecured creditors is? 35,000 in the problem they said, correct? See, unsecured creditors were 35,000 including 5,000 preferential creditors. That includes a preferential creditors of 5,000. So deduct this because I have already shown preferential creditors separately. So deduct that 5,000. So left out as unsecured creditors. So now I have got unsecured creditors also. Clear? So next is, do we have any debenture holders? So if we have, we have to show. So I'm writing debentures. So check out in the problem, is there any debentures? So there is no debentures in the problem because I read the problem 3 times. So there is no any debentures. So debentures is nil. So after that, what we have? Preference shareholders, correct? So write preference shareholders. Preference shareholders. How much we have to pay to the preference shareholders? So we have to pay how much? Read the problem. 10,009% preference shares of rupees 10 each fully paid. So because when we are closing, even we have to pay the shareholders money also. So how much we have? 10,000 preference shares at the face value of rupees 10 each. So calculate 10,000 into 10. 10,000 into 10, that comes to 1 lakh rupees. So I am writing that 1 lakh rupees directly. I am writing that 1 lakh rupees directly. So here in the problem there is one more adjustment he has given. So we have to consider that adjustment. So we have to be a bit careful on this part. So I'm since there is an adjustment which is related to preference share, I am scratching this out. I am writing this 1 lakh here. See, in the problem they said, where is that adjustment? Yes. See, after the Liquidators remuneration part, what they are telling, preference dividend was paid up to 31st 12 2018. So they have paid only up to 31st 12 2018. Preference share carry preferential rights. Those shares carry preferential rights. So on what? With regard to the payment of capital and dividend. So if any dividend is not paid in the previous year, that should be paid. Clear? So then we have to pay the outstanding dividend. So write add dividend. Add dividend. So dividend how much? So they said 9% preference shares. 9% preference shares means, so whatever the amount invested on that 9%, we are going to calculate dividend. Separately he has not given, he said directly 10,009% preference shares. That means the rate of dividend is 9%. So 1 lakh into 9 divided by 100, or 1 lakh into 9% if you do, so you will get 9,000 rupees as a preferential dividend. Clear? So we have cleared the preferential dividend of rupees 9,000. Now write this to outer column, 1 lakh 9,000. 1 lakh 9,000. So we have settled everybody. So now we have to settle equity shareholders. Equity shareholders. So we have to write equity shareholders. So let us write equity shareholders. So whatever the balance left, that will be given to equity shareholders. Whatever the balance is there, that will be given to equity shareholders. Whatever the balance is there, that we are going to distribute among the equity shareholders. So you can mention that here, balance. Okay. So now we have to identify what is the balance left out. So what we are going to give it to the equity shareholders. Okay. And one more point, we have not yet calculated 2% on amount paid to equity shareholders. That is also left. So what we are going to do, so I'll close this table first, then we'll start the working note for the same. Okay. So I've got the table ready. If we need not to calculate the 2% on equity shareholders, we would have calculated directly this total and deducted, and the left out amount would have been written. Since now we have to calculate the remuneration part of Liquidators remuneration, 2% on amount paid to equity shareholders. So first we have to do the working note. Clear? So as usual, I'll divide the page into two parts to calculate a working note, to do the working note. So in the first part, working note, number 1. So write calculation of amount available to equity shareholders, Done. So now how much the amount available for equity shareholders? To calculate that, what is the assets realized we have here? 2,76,000. So I am writing that 2,76,000. 2,76,000 have written, and I'm just writing one line so that I can write all the expenditure one by one. So what are all the payments we are making? Liquidation expenses, how much? 1,320. So next what I have? Preferential creditors, 5,000 I have. then I have unsecured creditors 30,000, then I have preference shareholders 1,09,000, and I also have 3% on assets realized, that is liquidators remuneration 8,280. So first I am going to write liquidators remuneration 8,280. I have just copied directly from here to there. Then I have preferential creditors 5,000 rupees. So I am writing that 5,000 preferential creditors. So after that, what next I have? So next I have unsecured creditors of rupees 30,000. I am writing that 30,000 unsecured creditors. So then I have preference shareholders 1,09,000. So I am writing that 1,09,000 also. So after this we are done we have recorded all the expenditure or payments and all the assets. Clear? So now let us check the total and find the difference. So total is 2,76,000. 2,76,000. Both the side we should get 2,76,000. So 2,76,000 minus 1,320 minus 8,280 minus 5,000 minus 30,000 minus 1,09,000. So if I deduct, I'm getting 1,22,400. You also calculate and check, are you getting the same figure? 1,22,400. You should also get the same figure or same amount. So 1,22,400 is the amount available for equity shareholders. 1,22,400. Okay. So now what we have to do? Calculation of 2% on equity shareholders, liquidators remuneration. So now I am doing working note number 2. Working note number 2. Calculation of liquidators remuneration at 2% on amount available to equity shareholders. Okay. So now let us check. The formula is same. Amount available divided by amount available into percentage divided by 100 plus percentage. So how much amount available is? 1,22,400 into 2% divided by 100 plus 2. So if you do that, we will get 1,22,400 into 2 divided by 102. So how much you will get? 1,22,400 into 2 divided by 102. So I'm getting 2,400 rupees. 2,400 rupees is the 2% on equity shareholders. So I got this amount. So I'm writing that here also. So let me write the same calculation. 1,22,400 into 2 divided by 102. So this according to working note number 2. Okay, this is according to working note number 2. So how much I have got? 2,400 rupees. I am writing that also inner column. Now I am adding it and totaling it. The remuneration of equity, Liquiditas remuneration, 3% on assets realized 8,280, and 2% on amount paid to equity shareholders is 2,400. Add both. 8,280 plus 2,400 put together 10,680. How much? 10,680 rupees. So now total and find the difference. So in the assets realized I have only 2,76,000, correct? So now one by one deduct so that you will get the balance amount. So that first one, how much we have? 1,320. So 2,76,000 minus 1,320 minus 10,680. 10,680. This one minus 5,000 minus 30,000 minus 1,09,000. So left out is 1,20,000. So the balance which we are distributing among equity shareholders is 1,20,000. So both the side total is 2,76,000. 2,76,000. Okay, so we are done with the problem. So if you have any doubt at any point, so you can reach me out. So over a message, over WhatsApp, or over a call, you can reach me out and clarify your doubts. So apart from this, you must practice these problem at least 2 to 3 times, because I told you at the beginning of the problem that we are solving a basic problem, so we are not even started the advanced problem. Clear? So first you should learn the working note part at the time of calculating liquidators remuneration, what kind of working notes we do, and you should always remember that on the debit side we always enter all the assets realized value. So whatever, by selling the assets, whatever we receive the amount. In the credit side we always record all the transaction that which we are settling the payments, to whom we are all paying the sales payments, so that we always record in the credit side. So that you must know. So you might wonder, in this particular problem we have settled entire amount of preference shareholders, and equity shareholders we paid balance. So see, it is the Company Act only says clearly, clear. So if there is any amount available at the end of winding up of company, whatever the amount is left, that has to be distributed among equity shareholders. Clear? After settling all the debts, after making all the payments, whatever the amount is left over, that has to be distributed among equity shareholders. If it would have been excess also, we would have been distributed more. So if it would have been less also, we would have distributed less only. Clear? So actually here in the problem they said 20,000 equity shares of rupees 20 each, 10 each. So 20,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each means we are supposed to pay 2 lakh rupees to the equity shareholders. But we have only balance of 1,20,000 rupees. So what is the balance we have? 1,20,000. So that only we can distribute. Clear? So whatever the balance available is always at the last, after making all the payments, we do distribute among the equity shareholders. So that point you should remember every time. So whenever you solve the problem, you should remember that. Okay, so I am done with this solution part, that is a solution for illustration number 3. So again I'm telling, so practice and learn. Okay, so we'll come back with one more video very shortly. Until then, take care, see you soon, bye bye, and as usual stay safe, which is very important. So stay safe. Thank you, bye.